beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today is a requested look and I feel so bad because I kept forgetting to do this, so I sat down and was like, do it right now. So this is a full face tutorial, but it is basically based on this picture right here off my Instagram. I could not remember for the life of me like when I did this, why I did this. I just knew that I used the colors from the Burgundy X9 palette from MAC, which looks like this. I am not using the actual palette in the video because I have 6 of the 9 shades in the palette, so I just used those. Why buy it if you have most of it? You know, that kind of thing. But if you have that palette, this eye is for you. So if you would like to see how I created this entire look, let's do this. See how I didn't say just keep watching? Doing good, guys. Let's go ahead and prime our faces. I'm using MAC Skin Refine Zone. You guys are probably so tired of what I do the same thing over and over again. I mean, if it works, why change it, right? But I'm gonna put this just on my pores. If you have problems with oil on your nose, chin, or really anywhere, you can pop it there, but it's only meant as a refined zone, so not your whole face, just on your problem areas. And then on top of that, I'm using Makeup Forever Skin Equalizer in Smoothing. This one is a little too thick for my entire face, but it does amazing things for my pores. I have been playing a lot with new foundations, so I'm going to go in with a new one. And this is the Cover FX Natural Finish Oil-Free Foundation, and I am in the shade G20. You do not need a lot of this, that's for sure. I am so pale now. When I go back and look at some of my other videos, I was so dark in comparison to what I am now. I am so pale, but actually I'd rather stay this way. I know it sounds weird because people love getting spray tans and whatnot, but I don't know. I really like being pale, but if I look at the sun wrong, it's like instantaneous, boom, 10 shades right there. This beauty blender smells funky, and I literally just got it out of the package, and I noticed that it seems more long instead of as fat on the bottom as my other one did, but I know it's not the foundation. No, it's the beauty blender. I don't know what's up with that. It has a weird smell to it, but it's brand new, so I don't know. I really like the finish of this foundation. It's kind of like a no fuss natural satin. I like it. And now I'm going to go in with my favorite concealer, the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer, and I'm going to use this to brighten my under eye and highlight other planes of my face. Make sure, I know this is like, seems like, well, duh, everybody knows that, but you'd be surprised, not everybody knows this. Make sure that you go further out in more of like a triangle shape underneath your eye. Do not just go back and forth like that, because it'll be way too obvious that you brightened right underneath your eye, and it's not cute. I swear the tip on this thing is weird. I think I got a defective beauty blender. Now, because I'm all about that bright under eye, I'm going to use Ethereal Light by Hourglass. Same beauty blender. I literally just pop it in here and then tap it underneath the eye. I personally don't go all the way up right here just because I don't like my fine lines to be accentuated, but I love this powder. I'm going to set all that using MAC's Mineralized Skin Finish Natural in Light Plus and my big microphone brush, and I'm just going to press this into my skin to make sure that my foundation does not move. For bronzer, I'm going to use my Makeup Forever Pro Bronze Fusion in 20M. Is that what this is? Yep, 20M. And my Real Techniques buffing brush, and I'm going to bronze up my skin. Now I'm going to do my brows and prime my eyes, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I primed my eyes using MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot, and then I did my brows. Because this palette does not have a matte light shade, like this kind of light shade, I am going to use MAC's Blanc Type, and I'm going to pop this underneath the brow arch, not all the way over, just the brow arch. and then also on my lid. And I'm going to pack this pretty heavily on my lid because I want it to pop through all the colors that we're about to put on there. And I'm using a MAC 242 to do this because this isn't going to hold on to the powders. Synthetic brushes lay down the product better than natural hair brushes because the natural ones can kind of hold on a little bit or buff out too much. This one just lays it down and packs it on. On a MAC 217, I'm going to grab Quarry. This one is in the palette, so you're good here. And I'm going to start off in the crease because that's where I want the majority of the product to go, and then start working it up as my transition shade. If you go in straight up here first, it's going to be too purple tone. We don't want that. We just want the majority in the crease and then lightly buff this color up so it becomes softer. And I'm going back and forth and then just kind of pushing. I'm using circular motions with this brush, but because it's a little stiffer, I'm kind of basically doing this and pressing that product and flicking it up like that. So when I'm doing this, that's basically what I'm doing with this brush because it is different. And then I'm connecting this outer V right here and elongating the eye just on this outer corner. Next, I'm going to take Sketch, also in the palette. It's the shade right here, but this one I depotted and glued it in, so I couldn't get it out. But I'm going to use that still on the MAC 217 brush. Make sure you tap off the extra on that one and go directly into your crease. And I'm not putting a lot of pressure onto my brush. I'm just kind of lightly going back and forth and making sure the product is where I want it before I blend too much. Make sure you get this outer corner right here. Do not bring this shade out like we did Quarry. Keep it nice and concentrated up against the eye. And just keep going back and forth. And then once you've got the majority of the product where you want it, then you can do tiny, tiny little circles. Do not bring this shade up too much because then you will look like you have a black eye. Now again, also in the palette, this is Star Violet, and I'm going to take this on a 239. And I'm going to start packing this on the outer corner. I'm going to use tapping motions first to apply the product where I want it, and then back and forth so it kind of blends it up into the crease a little bit, but don't overtake the sketch we put up there. And I'm going about halfway. And right here, I'm just going to barely tap so it blends the Blanc Type and this shadow together, but I don't want it to be like a harsh line. To help clean up this area a little bit more, I'm taking Blanc Type back on my MAC 242, starting in the center and then tapping this over the edge of this so that it blends all together and helps to brighten this front part back up a bit. If you wanted this to be a little bit more shimmery, you could go in with Honey Lust in the palette and that'd be really pretty too. Now on a MAC 221, because it is so nice and precise, I am grabbing MAC's Embark, and I'm going to put this right on the outer corner to give it just a little bit more depth. So I'm going to take my brush, place it, and kind of wiggle. I'm not bringing this up into the crease, just on this very outer corner right here. On the outer edges of my eyes, I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup using a sponge. And I'm going from the bottom lash line and just pulling upward just so that it cleans it up a little bit, but I don't want it to be real harsh. For the lower lash line, I'm going back in with Quarry, and I'm buffing this from outer to inner corner and connecting right here at the edge of your eye. I'm buffing that down a little bit. I'm using a NARS pencil brush. It's my favorite pencil brush. Same brush, I'm going back in with Sketch, and I'm just going right on this outer corner and kind of tapping this in. Again, I'm just creating a little bit more depth on the eye, so I'm not going to bring this all the way to the center or anything, just on this outer corner right here and connecting it to where Sketch goes into my crease. Now in the picture, I did not have any liner on. I just put on some mascara and lashes, but I kind of want to add to it this time, so I'm going to use oh my god, Deliciously Rich. Oh Lord. It's just this really beautiful Fluidline by MAC. So I'm just going to pop that on, not going to do a wing or anything, just going to pop this guy on, and I'll be back. So I went ahead and put on my lashes too. These are MAC 48s, and now I'm going to use MAC's Chromagraphic pencil in NC15 and W20 to brighten up my eye. So I'm just popping this right into the waterline, and it's going to make it look night and day to the other. Look how nice and bright that, oh, this pencil is everything. And then I'm going to finish off the lower lash line with some mascara, and this is MAC's Extended Play in Gigablack, which is just the blackest of the black. For my cheeks, I'm going to use Samson and Delilah from the Kat Von D Shade and Light Blushes. Now, I'm going to talk about these for just a second. First off, they are very stiff, like very hard in the pan. That's only going to bother me if they end up going hard pan, which is basically when you get this film across the top from like digging in your brush, and then it's no longer usable. As you can see, it's not patchy on me at all. Some people have said that it is, like they're having issues with it being patchy. I don't see that, and it does last on me all day long. I love the color. The formula doesn't really bother me. I don't like how pressed it is in the pan, but it works on my skin, so I'm kind of like, whatever, that's fine by me. Now the packaging is horrible. This guy is moving around. It's going to come loose, and I mean, I'm just gonna glue it back anyway, but still, I mean, I'm not gonna buy any more of these, but I'm not gonna take mine back, if that makes sense. I don't feel like they're worth the $25. But I'm happy enough with the colors and how they lay on my skin to keep them. So it's kind of going to be up to you whether you think that they're worth it or not. I do like mine, like I said. Obviously, I'm using it. I have been using this one a lot, and I get a lot of compliments on this shade, but I will say that she could have done better. It's not as soft and pigmented as like her other powders. So I don't know, guys. I do like mine, but yeah, it's up to you. And I'm just swirling this around in here, and I will say that you need a scratchier or stiffer brush. Like this brush, the 129 from MAC, works with it, but then my super soft Tom Ford brush doesn't really pick up the product as well, so just something also to note about them. And I think that they aren't as pigmented on darker skin tones. Just remember, I'm fair, so. And then for my contour today, I'm going to use MAC Sculpt. This is a shaping powder, and you can find it online, but they're not in stores. And I'm going to use my Eda brush. I haven't used this in a hot minute, so I decided I need to show it some love again, and maybe because my other brush is in my car, and I'm too lazy to go get it, so there's that. Now I'm going to blend all that out using my MAC 187. Any kind of dual fiber blending brush will work, but I just don't like to have any harsh lines, and this kind of tones down the blush a little bit, tone downs everything a little bit, and then I'm going to highlight. This is Brilliant Strobe Light from Hourglass, and I'm using a Wayne Goss number 3 brush to highlight. This has become my absolute favorite highlight in life. It is not chunky, it's not super bright, so if you're wanting something that's gonna be like highlight bling, no, this isn't it. This is just so beautiful and natural, and you can see it a little bit more in like these lights, but it's not like crazy. I swear, it's so beautiful. I love it so much. And then I like to go back in with the brush I used for my blush and just kind of merge the two together. I did not get any extra product, no extra blush on it, but I just like to kind of blend them together so it's not like stamp, stamp, stamp. So. Now for lips, I just got this yesterday, and I think it's just so pretty. So I'm going to use this. This is the Stila Stay All Day Liquid Lipstick in Caramello. And I'm just going to pop this on, and we will be all done. I am thoroughly, and I do mean thoroughly, digging this color. I really like it. And I will say, I don't know if the formula has always been this great, but this is a great formula. Like I said, I don't know. These are new shades. I love this. I had it on yesterday and I was super impressed. But anyway, that is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and I will see you guys again soon. Bye.